In our news bulletin for this evening, Niue is set and ready to host the Pacific Community Meeting. Government has endorsed a new $1 million project to support conservation and sustainable management of ocean resources in Niue. The Statistics Office prepared to carry out a random household income and expenditure survey in November. Niue is set to host the 9th Biennial Conference of the Pacific Community and the 45th Annual Committee of Representatives meeting that will see more than 100 representatives arrive on island. The Pacific Community governing body will discuss and endorse a number of significant issues relating to the strategic development in the region for the next 5 years. Resilient Pacific people turning the tide is the theme that reflects the opportunities posed to building resilient futures for Pacific people. Director General of SPC, Dr. Colin Tukuitonga, is on island, and we caught up with him to explain more about this meeting.
The Pacific Community governing body, the Committee of Representatives, Governments and Administrations, meet starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then the ministers arrive on Tuesday. That's the conference. The two big items, I guess, for us, one is the approval of the strategic plan, which lays out our priorities over the next 5 years, but also to approve the budget. We need the governing body of SBC to approve what we do. And those two items are really important. We can't really do anything without their endorsement. And then when the ministers arrive, the conference will start on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have what we call a high-level dialogue, and the topic this year is on youth, young people. We're fortunate to have the UN envoy being the keynote, UN envoy for youth. We also have the minister from Samoa talk about their experiences and what they've done in Samoa, and the new Minister for International Development and the Pacific from Australia. We're pleased about that. We have you, I think. We have a young person from Niue sharing perspectives on this. And the idea is to try to see what we might do together. I think most people know that in all of the islands, young people make up a fairly big part of the population, but many don't have the qualifications, the skills. There are health concerns, social issues, and the question is, what do we do to assist? What works? What are the opportunities? And that's really what the high-level dialogue is about. We have a young person from Niue sharing perspectives on this, and the idea is to try to see what we might do together. I think most people know that in all of the islands, young people make up a fairly big part of the population, but many don't have the qualifications, the skills. There are health concerns, social issues, and the question is, what do we do to assist? What works? What are the opportunities? And that's really what the high-level dialogue is about.
Preparations for this high-level meeting has taken some time to coordinate and has been supported by the Niue government and SPC staff.
We've had exceptional support from Secretary Hipa to our team, Patricia and Effie and everyone who's been here trying to work things out. We're very pleased with the support. I'm very positive that we'll have a very good discussion over the next few days. It is bigger than anything that's happened here, I understand, although of course the forum was here on Niue. But this is a little different. It is quite big, and would like to think, quite apart from the discussions at the meeting itself, that people who are coming to the motu will, buy some food or buy some handicraft or look around and see the island.
Officials are expected to arrive on tomorrow's flights, and leaders will be arriving on next week's Tuesday flight. We hope to bring you more coverage next week. Niue is about to embark on a $1 million project that will push for the conservation and sustainable management of ocean resources. The announcement was made today at the Matawai Resort for a 3-year project that will be funded by Oceans 5 and will complement existing government priorities. Director General for Ministry of Natural Resources, Dr. Josie Tamate, says that this project is an exciting opportunity and they have been surprised with the quick turnaround process to get funds from Oceans 5. The Niue Ocean-wide project has a number of components that envisage generating sufficient returns to Niue in order to sustain conservation efforts of our marine environment.
One of the components that we have is the need to look at the Beveridge Reef. Beveridge Reef is an area that not many people, it's only a few or a handful of Niueans have been to Beveridge Reef, and we don't have any information of how much resources we have there and whether we are getting all our stock on island that in the coastal areas being recruited from Beveridge Reef. So this is one of the areas that we want to see whether we could, at the moment it's close in terms of fishery, close to commercial fisheries, but we need to look at how significant is Beveridge Reef to us, and with the view of actually formally declared as a marine protected area. So on land we have Tuvalu conservation forest, so perhaps we were looking at something like that. There are three components in the project. That one is to develop a marine spatial or zoning, so we know, okay, Niue is just at the moment, it's just the island and it's just the Great Ocean. So perhaps we have people have different interests into the oceans. You have our local fisher people, and we also have the charter vessel. We have even a local commercial operator. And in addition to that, we also have boats from outside the foreign interests who want to come in. And also, eventually, I wouldn't be surprised that there would be interest in trying to explore Niue's, seabed for deep sea minerals. So the idea is, instead of waiting for that to happen, we want to have all the frameworks in place, so we're not caught off guard when somebody comes in with, a proposal to do, for example, deep sea mining. Even though at the moment it's not an option for us, it's not something that we're considering, but it's best to have the frameworks in place so we're not scrambling at the last minute. That's one of that. We're looking at a second component is to establish a compliance strategy. So we had all this zoning, especially if we declared a marine a marine protected area, then we have need to ensure that we monitor those areas, and also not only in terms of surveillance, but in terms of the resource, whether we're still getting the enough fish or the stocks, certain species are being depleted. And the third component of that is to ensure that whatever there'll be ecotourism, marine activities, that we will continue to receive benefits, and those benefits and returns can be able to people will have the ownership on the activities they have. So it's a sustainable project. So when the funding runs out, there's all that we've put in place will be there's a continuation.
Since February this year, there has been a fair bit of consultation with the support of government, but the presence of Oceans 5 and National Geographic on island has strengthened partnerships that are integral for the success of this project. We caught up with the team today to find out more.
Well, we have the good fortune of supporting Niue in your goals for marine spatial plans, so creating different zones around your ocean for sustainable development and conservation. About a year ago, I met Josie at the UN Small Island Developing States Conference. We discussed a concept proposal for Niue's plans to submit to Oceans 5. In August of this year, we approved a 3-year grant for $1 million New Zealand dollars to support Niue's efforts. We're really excited. My visit to the island this time is really to just show our support for the project, and also to introduce Dan Myers. He's here with National Geographic. One of the great things about Oceans 5 is, although we give grants, we also offer support to our grantees by creating new relationships, and luckily we have a good relationship with National Geographic and the Pristine Seas team there, and they've come on board to see how they can help Niue.
Our team in National Geographic travels around the world to the last wild places of the ocean to observe, document, and protect potentially those areas. So our job here is to help the Niueans understand the incredible resources that are out on some of the outer-lying reefs, including Beveridge Reef, and to think about ways to sustainably move forward. It's a tremendously exciting opportunity for the Niuean government and the Niuean people, and National Geographic is very excited to be here as part of the process. This place is magical, and I may never leave.
Local counterparts on island will be looking to establish an NGO to receive funds and support for the Now project that has potential to increase benefits and returns to Niue through ecotourism. A random household survey is about to be conducted by the Statistics Office next month. The Household Income and Expenditure Survey was last conducted in 2002 and is long overdue. Chief Statistician Kim Revaha says that the information provided will be used to guide policymakers in framing socio-economic developmental policies and in initiating financial measures for improving economic conditions of people. Out of about 500 households on the island, only 160 will be randomly selected to participate, and the Statistics Division staff will be collecting information starting on Monday, the 2nd of November. And those are our news stories for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Tuesday next week, and have an enjoyable weekend ahead. For the farmers who displayed their crops on the National Show Day, there will be a prize giving ceremony tomorrow at 8 o'clock at the market.